Hello, my name is Simon. I'm in a slightly different setting for those of you who've watched the other videos. Make a little background noise. I don't think that matters. I think it's important to be able to practice in whatever surroundings or environment you're in. So let's make a start. Let's start off by lying down, first of all. Let's bring one knee into the body. Always a great way of starting off, just releasing any tension in the leg and the hip area. And then switching sides, bringing the other knee in. And then both knees together. With both knees together, just a little rocking, swaying movement. And bringing the feet down, we're going to do a twist. So whenever you twist, you are allowed to shift your hip over a little bit before you twist. And then just taking the opposite arm out along the floor. Try and keep the shoulder down on that side. Once you're in a posture, you can close your eyes, just really tune into what it is that you're feeling, sensations in the body, not how far you're going, not what it looks like, but how it feels. Remember to always stay a little back from edge, make sure it feels pleasant, not unpleasant. Today there's not a strict time duration on these postures. I'm just going to hold them for a little while. If you feel like holding them for long, of course you can pause. If you want to come out of something sooner, that is of course okay as well. And then just coming back up from there, let's try the other side. So just rolling the other knee over now. Nice twist on the other side. The opposite arm, you can rest it on the waist, you can stretch out fully. Try and keep the shoulder down though on the opposite side. Bring that knee back up. Whenever you're lying down, the best way to come up is roll to one side, all the way up, using your arm and not your back muscles. Okay, so we're going to do a cross-legged position. Now there are a number of options. One cross-legged position is just a very easy cross-leg shape. Try and have the knees as close together as you can get them. Another option is to cross one leg over the top of the other leg, like so. Now the trick on this one is to try and keep both sitting bones down on the floor. Really nice stretch in the glute area. Remember, any posture, just taking it as far as you can take it. And then just closing your eyes. You can be listening to sounds in the background, but focus on what you're feeling as well. This one, if you feel like you want to lean forwards a little bit, feel like twisting a little bit, you can move in postures, but twist slightly to one side. It gives me quite a nice sensation on that side. And just slowly easing up from that side. Carefully move the legs and switch. You can do the other leg in front now. So choose the same option if you are taking one leg over the other. Could be a little bit different. Maybe it's slightly tighter on one side compared to the other. Make sure that this doesn't hurt your knee. If it hurts the knee, ease off. Stop if necessary. And just holding this for a little while now. Same thing, as it loosens, you're allowed to move and experiment with sensation, just adjusting the shape or the angle. Nothing should ever hurt in this practice. If something hurts, it's wrong. Breathing, just breathe normally. There's no need to synchronize the breath. There's no need to breathe in for part of a movement, part of it you breathe out, because we're holding for a little while in these postures. So just breathe naturally, normally. There is never any reason to hold the breath, but other than that, just relax your breath. Muscles and joints take a while to open up so that you really get a nice deep stretch. Anything less than 30 seconds is not really achieving much in the way of flexibility. So you do have to hold for a little while. From there, we're going to slowly come out of that side. Next posture we're going to do is a forward movement. So have the knees bent in this forward bend. You can have the legs slightly apart or as close together as is comfortable. You're going to try and wrap your arms around the legs. However, if that doesn't work very well, you can hold the ankles. You can have the hands cupped around the feet if you like. I'm going to do that. I wouldn't have the head too low. I would look forwards and then close your eyes. Tune into what you feel in this posture. So you're going to feel a stretch in the back of the thigh probably, but also hopefully in the lower back too. Really nice stretch for the lower spine in particular. And as you hold it, you might shuffle a little bit further with the feet. Get a stronger stretch, particularly in the lower back. Let's just hold this for a little while. The sounds you can hear in the background at the moment. School children. School's out. whenever you are stretching the body forwards or flexing the spine, as it's called, you have to be very careful coming out of it. So in order to make sure that your back is okay, safe, we go through a little process. So first of all, from here, just making your way to lying down, just ease yourself down, use your elbows, come to lying down, and I would bring the knees back into the body straight away, first of all. And then stretch the legs out and just observe, see what happens. There can be a delayed response in the lower back as the joints and the discs within the joint return to their normal or neutral shape. And some of you may feel a tightening, twinge type sensation, and if you do, and you'll know what I mean if you feel it, you just bring the knees back in again and hold on to them. What that does opens the joints for that a little bit longer, just to give those spaces, those bones and connections time to return to normal, to neutral if you like. You can hold on the knees for as long as you need to. If you don't need to do this, if your back feels absolutely fine, there is no harm in just relaxing for a moment, for these few moments, depending on what you need to do. There's definitely no harm in letting the body come back to neutral. And what I mean by that is, all things being equal, when you lie on your back, like I'm lying down now, this is, in theory, the most neutral position for the spine. So the sacrum, the bones of the sacrum, the head, the shoulder, the heels, distribute the pressure along the spine in the most even and neutral way. The least amount of intervertebral pressure, if you like. So this is the most neutral position of the spine to be in, and that's why we actually practice Shavasana in this position. And I know things are not always equal. There are sometimes considerations where perhaps this is not the most comfortable position, and if it's not, if you need to do something like bend your knees if you're lying down for any length of time, then that's fine. It is also okay to practice Shavasana in other positions. You could even lie in front. We're not quite at Shavasana yet, but I'm just saying, just to explain what's going on in the back for some of you. And then we're going to roll to one side in order to come up. Now we're going to do a sequence that works the leg muscles. And we're going to start off with a lunge, which is working the front part of the thigh, the quadricep muscle. So we're going to do 3 movements. We're going to do a lunge, we're going to do a hamstring movement, and we're going to do a split. A split simply means taking the feet as far apart as you can, as you yourself can. Not in terms of what anybody else can do or what you've seen anybody else do, just taking the posture as far as you can take it comfortably without pain to give you an effect, to give you a pleasant sensation in the muscle. So this is working the front of the thigh, the back of the thigh, the hamstring is where we come down to the ground and shift away from that front heel, pulling back until now you're feeling the sensation on the back of the other leg. It is also okay if anybody who wants to, for a split, you could do an upside down version of it where you simply have one foot stretching over the head as far as you can take it. Those who want to practice the full version of the split, it's best to come back into the lunge, literally lift the front foot a little bit further forwards, and then use the back foot to work your way further back with the back leg, finding a place where it feels you can't really go any further, and just flatten the back foot, and we're going to hold for a little bit. Sinking, releasing. Feeling that nice stretch across both legs now, back of one, front of the other. Some of you will feel that this is a nice release in the lower back as well. Nothing hurts. There's not too much pressure in the hands, you're not bearing down with your full weight. Feels nice. If you look for pleasant sensation and avoid unpleasant sensation, you're on the right track. And then in order to come out of that, tuck the toes to the back, lift that knee a step closer, tuck the toes again, another step. Just keep shuffling your way further and further forwards until you are close enough that you can switch sides, okay? It's also okay to have your back knee resting on something for comfort. You can either rest it on a cushion, yoga block, anything that's soft and supports the knee. You can fold up part of your mat if you wanted to. So this is a little tighter for me on this side. I can really feel that right at the top of the thigh, front of the leg, really good stretch to do for the psoas muscle it's called. It connects to your back, which explains why when that muscle's tight, it can create problems in the back sometimes. If this is a difficult position to hold, if you struggle with balance, it would be okay to have hands on the floor, either one or both. You can still sink into this and feel the stretch on the front of the thigh, but it makes it a little bit easier to feel that stretch if the hands are up on the knee. Okay, and then the second part, the hamstring, so you bring the hands down, you ease away from that front foot. Feeling now that nice pulling effect across the front of the thigh. From there, easing forwards, grabbing hold of that front foot, lifting a little bit further forwards, remember, using the back foot to go the rest of the way, shuffling, you just lift the knee, take it up a step or two further back, find that place where you can comfortably hold this for just a few moments, supporting your weight but not bearing down onto the hands. Try and find that place where you can hold it without struggle. If the body shakes, that's a little too far, a little too deep into a posture. It shouldn't shake or tremble. You should be able to hold something and get it to open up and release more the longer you hold it. That's the idea. Remember, we're trying to loosen, open, increase range, improve flexibility. So stay a little bit back from edge, and that actually helps. You can hear the helicopter flying around outside my window at the moment. That's what I'm looking up at, out of the window. Still focused, of course, on what I'm feeling in the muscles. Okay, let's tuck the toes at the back. Shuffle that back knee, step closer, slowly moving further and further forwards. Once you're close enough, ease out of the posture. We're going to move into back bend. We're going to do the Sphinx and Cobra posture. So starting off with the elbows propping us up. Remember, if this is a little too strong, you can always have the elbows a little bit further forwards. If it all gets a little bit too much, just rest on your front, just bring your head to your hands. If it's okay on your elbows, we will in a few moments go higher up. But for now, I would just rest on your elbows, look forwards and close your eyes and just feel that really nice squeeze in the lower back. That compression, squeezing the joints. A good thing, we don't often bend our body in this direction. We don't often take it into this extended backwards shape. So back bends are really valuable for the spine to counteract all the bending forwards that we tend to do during our everyday lives most of the time. Sitting down is bending forwards. How much of that do we do? Now to take this further, what I would suggest is taking the hands just a little bit further out in front and raising the elbows and just see how that feels. If it feels too strong, go back to the elbows. If it feels okay, you could experiment with coming further in with the hands. Now each time you do that, come down to the elbows, shift the hands a little bit further in, and then lift the elbows again. And perhaps you pause in each position along the way, so you're doing it progressively until the spine feels like it's a little looser. It's a great stretch on the front of the body as well. A really nice stretch if you've done any kind of abdominal or core work to stretch the muscles that you worked, particularly on the front of the body. So like I say, if you feel like you can go further than that, you can bring the hands a little bit further in and lift back up. Try and keep the shoulders fairly flat and down. So you don't want the shoulders hunched up around the ears. Try and keep them nice and flat. Arms straight, although you don't have to lock them. Looking forwards, perhaps slightly upwards. I'm looking out the window at that helicopter view. Just hold this for a little bit longer. Beautiful back bend version of the Cobra posture. In Sanskrit, Bhujangasana. Those of you who are staying on the elbows, that's often referred to as the Sphinx shape. But they are both beautiful back bends. And then from there, we're going to slowly take your time, come down as if you're peeling the spine, the bones apart, laying a track, one piece at a time. It feels great. It feels nice being in it, feels nice coming out of it. I got a nice click in my back just then. And the best counter posture, you have a number of options. One option is child's pose, another is lying on your back, hugging your knees into the body. If you're doing a child's pose, you can do any version. I'm going to take my knees apart, feet together. I'm going to stretch the arms out in front to start off with at least. That's a nice stretch for the shoulders, but then actually I'm going to transition into a regular child's pose. Bring the knees together, feet can stay together. You can have the knees slightly apart, it's more comfortable. Just bring the head down to the ground, arms resting down the side of your legs. So. And then slowly making our way out of that. And that is our practice for today. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Bye-bye.